name's James back with 360 and back. In today's short Iguide tutorial, I want to go over floor plans and mostly the explanation of them. If you're familiar with the Iguide knowledge base, just go ahead and type in floor plan explanation. If you're not familiar with the Iguide knowledge base, I made a video on this previously, and I would highly recommend to go back and watch this first. So the reason I'm making this video is sometimes the floor plans can get a little bit confusing to some people, and so it's good to be able to explain to your customer or even for your own knowledge on how everything is drawn out. Not everybody makes floor plans the same. Not everybody measures an area the same, so that's important to keep that in mind. But what I want to quickly do is kind of go over all the different items and kind of hopefully better explain some of the questions that you may have in regards to the floor plans. So what you can do is just go ahead and view your Iguide. This is what everybody's going to be able to see, like most of the viewers. And then you're just going to go to this top part where it says details. And here you see the property description. The downloadable floor plan for anybody to download. Here you're going to have your room measurements. So it's only going to have the major rooms listed. Some of the rooms may be excluded from the total interior area, like the garage. Room dimensions are largest length times width. Parts of the room may be smaller. Rooms are not always equal to product of length and width. And I'm going to show a demonstration of what that means. But right here, you got all your major areas and the square footage of those areas. Now let's go over here to where it says the floor plan information. So for explanation of the floor plan calculation and methods of measurements, please use method measurements. All displayed floor areas are rounded to 2 decimal places. Total areas is computed before rounding and may not equal to the sum of displayed floor area. So that's just something to keep in mind. So Iguide kind of changes up just a little bit. I think it's to make it easier for everybody, not only just for the agents themselves, but also for people viewing it. Because before they used to have the interior included, interior excluded, exterior included, interior excluded, and there was just a lot more information. Actually, let me see if I can find one. Let me look at one of my older ones here. Let's open this up. And we're going to go to details. Yeah, so we got interior area, excluded area, perimeter wall length, perimeter wall thickness, exterior area, total above grade floor area. I mean, you just got a lot more information right here. And I think it was really confusing, like how Iguide came up with all these figures. So they did something to make it a little bit easier. And they just gave you finished area, unfinished area of each floor level. So this makes it really easy for any consumer to kind of really understand and grasp. Let's go over what a finished area is and what an unfinished area is. So all you really have to do is just go to the method of measurements. Just click on that. Here it's going to give you a whole list of information. You can see they still got like interior area, excluded area, stuff like that. But we're just going to focus on the finished area. So is a per floor calculation made by adding all enclosed areas in a house that are suitable for a year-round use based upon their location, embodying walls, floors, and ceilings, and which are similar to the rest of the home. Footprint of the walls is attributed to finished areas only when the walls are bounding finished areas. So essentially, if you can live in it, then they consider that a finished area. So let's look at unfinished area. As a per floor calculation made by adding all enclosed areas that do not meet the criteria for a finished area. Exceptions are outdoor and non-walkable areas. For examples, porches or areas open to below. Footprint of walls is attributed to unfinished area only when the walls are exclusively bounding unfinished walls. Okay, so they got a note here too. For exterior walls that are adjacent to the outside of the property, where typically only the interior side has measurable data, an estimate of the exterior wall thickness as directly measured at the property is used, this is me, by the way. I measure this. is used to calculate its footprints. Considerations are not made for varying wall thickness along the perimeter. Okay. And here's another quick disclaimer. All dimensions of floor areas must be considered approximate and are subject to independent verification. Now, here's another cool little fact. When you get an Iguide from anyone, for me or whoever, it is going to be ANSI Z765 2021 certified. So that's really cool. I'll do a whole nother video on this. This is a new standard way to do home appraisals on square footage of the property. Everybody here in the US now have to adhere to this standard, which is really great. And I'll go in a little bit more detail why that's great. So let's go back, and we can see that the finished area of the main floor is 3,497.95 square feet. Unfinished area is 806.56 square feet. Second floor, 2,584.31 square feet. No unfinished areas because it's all complete. The basement has a finished area of 2,004.39 square feet and an unfinished area of 1,376.04 square feet. Here is the ANSI Z765-2021 measurements. So this is adhering to the new laws that were just put in place, I believe in April. I could be wrong, but I believe it was in April, of the above grade finished area, which is 6,046.26 square feet. And that's going to be above grade. So that means it's going to include both the main level and the second level. The above grade unfinished area is going to be 806.56 square feet. Now below grade, that's going to be like your basement area. It's going to be 2,004.39 square feet and an unfinished area of 1,376.04 square feet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up the actual floor plans. And when we do that, I'll be able to show you what the finished area and the unfinished area and where they're getting all their information from. So all you need to do is go to the floor plans where it says download PDF floor plans right here. Go ahead and click on that. And we got a bunch of different information. So, all right. So the very first thing is going to be your title. And this is just going to be your home address right here. Then right below that is going to be your areas. So you're going to have the main building above grade finished area. It's going to be 6,046.26 square feet. And that's going to include the main floor and the second floor. Okay. The next thing I want to bring out is the date. This is the date that I came out and did this floor plan. So that's kind of good information. So if this lingers out for maybe, another 5 or 6 years and they decided to do some renovations, whatever, they'll know that, anything after this, something may have changed. So that's good to know. The scale. So each floor plan itself is going to have its own scale. Let me zoom in a little bit. Each floor plan is going to have its own scale. In this particular floor plan, you can see this bar is going to equal to 22 feet. And then right here on the individual, it's just going to equal up to 14 feet. So if you are going to be uploading this to, any other any other software, this bar really helps you identify, how big the area is. So let's talk about door objects, and we'll just go ahead and scroll down. So you have a bunch of different styles of doors. I believe you have 15. Let me take a quick look here. Yeah, so there is 15 different door types that will be included in your Iguide. Now, of course, you'll have your standard door, which will look like this guy right here. You'll have French doors, walkways / wall openings, pocket doors, sliding doors, folding doors, bifold doors, garage doors, accordion doors, double pocket doors, 3-panel sliding doors, 2-way sliding doors, 3-panel sliding doors, 4-panel sliding doors, and then revolving doors. So chances are you're going to have each different type of doors when you're looking at your model here. So again, you got like a standard door. Here's like, a double opening door, and the relationship of how big this door is pretty accurate as well. So that's also to mention about the windows. So all these blue lines, these are your windows, and the windows are placed accurately and the actual size of the window. So this window is, medium size. This one's a small one. So when you actually go in the garage, you can visibly see that these windows are all different sizes. It just makes it a lot easier. And you can even see, like in the foyer area, you got 2 windows right there. And if we go back to our tour, there we go. We got a small window and another small window. So that really helps out. Let's go back. There you go. Now, when you get an Iguide from 360 and back, I already built in the price to go ahead and give you the premium package. Premium is just going to give you like where the stoves are, where's the kitchen sink, the bathroom fixtures, stuff like that. That's what the premium gives you. There is a lot of different premium items. Let me see if I can find it. There are over 40 different premium objects, going from a basin all the way to a square pillar post, washer, dryer, wine fridge, different stove burners, microwaves, everything else. When you get a premium, you're going to be able to know that you're getting all the information that's possible inside of that home, basically to make it easier for the viewers to understand what's in there. Now, another thing to note is that you might ask is, how did you get the square footage? How did we get this? Well, if you look, we got these little arrows placed around each boundary of the room. So what this does is it takes account from the furthest lengthwise away and the furthest width. So this is the furthest length away. So this is how it got that 83.3, okay? Or 19.11. 19 feet, 11 inches. That's how I got this dimensions. You notice it didn't take it from here to here or from here to here. It took it from the farthest point. And it's going to do that for every room. It's going to find the farthest point and then do it. It's not always really intuitive the way it does it. And I'll show you a reason for that. Let's look at the laundry room. So we can tell that is width is 14, 1 inch. And look what it did. It took a point here and went to the furthest point and added it right there, which gave you the 14 feet, 1 inch. As far as the length, it went from, again, the furthest points. So when they like, well, how'd you get this measurement? We went all the way to this outer corner and measured all the way to this wall. That's how we got that dimension. So let's talk about the colors. All the colors have, not only is it visual pleasing, but it also lets you know that what is included and what is not included. So for instance, we see that the garage is white and the screen porch is white. That is not included square footage. Everything else that you see is going to be included square footage of this livable area. Now, another thing to take note is that if we have a black space, just like this right here, this is not going to be included. Okay, you kind of see where the lines are. They measured it and stopped it right there at the toilet. They didn't go all the way through. This is like where the plumbing or the electrical is or anything else like that. It's not livable space. It's not considered a finished area. And so it's not included. So that's something to keep in mind. As we look through here, you're going to see different line thickness, wall line thicknesses. Now there's going to be 5 different styles of line thicknesses. So the first one is going to be exterior line type. Now this can be bigger or smaller depending on the exterior wall thickness entering into the survey. So basically when I'm entering into the wall thickness, it's going to kind of represent like how thick the actual wall is. The second type is going to be your interior line type. Now this is typically 12 centimeters, but it can vary depending on the construction of the home. So what it's talking about is like right here, this is an interior line. The third one is going to be the half wall line type, which is going to be like a grayer type, which is, I really don't see any. Yeah, like right here, that's going to be like the half wall line type. Well, no, this is actually going to be like a railing. So I don't see half wall types anywhere here, this demonstration, but it's going to be a thicker gray line. Your little bit thinner gray line is going to be your railing. And number 5 is going to be your basic line types. So you have 3 different types of basic lines. You have a construction line, which is used for fireplaces, stairs, and changes in elevation. So if we look here, we got a real thin line. This is going to be considered a construction line because it's used for a fireplace. And if we look, there's another fireplace. So it's going to let you know. You can also notice that here in the office, there's something here. What you can do is just go over here. And there we go. It's built-in shelves. That's exactly what it is. So they drew this a little bit differently just to call that out. The second style basic line is going to be the outdoor divider line. Now this is used to draw decks, balconies, patios, and porches. So right here we have a screen and porch, and you can see we got a very thin line. That's what it's outlining. So that's another type of line. And then the third type is the object line. Now this is used to draw countertops and other objects for premium Iguides. So these lines right here, these just represents countertops or any other kind of premium object. So like bathrooms, it could be just anything. So those are the main types of lines. As you go down in the main area, so we're now in the basement, and we can see the finished area and the unfinished area. And again, we had the patio and the garage, which is considered unfinished area or unfinished space. Here they mark this as a utility and storage area, and everything again is representative. Now, if we look here, we can kind of see that here are some gray boundary lines. These lines don't actually exist. You see that there's no actual doors or anything here because this is an open area. But what Iguide does is just going to pick the outermost limit and say, okay, cool, we're going to draw an imaginary line right here, and this is where we're going to base our square footage. And that's how they get this square footage with an open area. So if we go back to our floor, let's just go to the basement. And we can see right here. You see how we got this big open area, and big open area. So what the drafters decided to do is just pick a point inside these 2 columns here. And they just went ahead and say, okay, cool. This is our stopping point. And this is what we're going to consider the breakfast area, or the breakfast dinner, whatever. So that, when you also go down, it's going to give you the same information as you got before, but it's just all attached here. It does give you some additional property details and where they got it from. So it's all really good. Anybody viewing it, like what they're actually saying. I noticed that Iguide has some of the best looking floor plans as far as like ease to use. Another thing that I kind of want to go over real quick is this compass right here. So you see all these compasses. So basically what this is the camera system has a compass. Now, when I take the panoramas that are shot in the compass, the rotational value is given to that pano. So the floor plan will have the combined compass value of all the panos on that floor. So it's going to tell you essentially how I was taking the photo and how everything was lining up. And it's just a combined value. So that is something just to also kind of keep in mind.